This is episode 38, and today I'm joined by the one and only Dessie McAleer. Dessie, you're very welcome on the podcast.
Thank you very much, Micky. I don't know why I'm here. Whenever I listen back to some of the other episodes, I've done nothing epic like that.
No, let me tell you, the point of this podcast is for me to speak to people that have inspired me on my journey, and you certainly tick that box.
I'm glad to hear that.
No, absolutely, 100%. And no doubt, probably unknowns to yourself, inspired quite a lot of people within the club, and certainly you're everybody's Uncle Dessie, as it were, within the club. Dessie, you're no stranger to triathlon, and you and I have kind of formed our friendship through the triathlon club.
Yeah, well, no stranger. I'm only in it about 12 years.
Well, that sounds like a fair old bit of experience to me.
Yeah, if you're 20 years old, it's a fair bit of experience. When you're over 60, so we're not just going through the...
But hey,
it's a very short time.
It's half your life if you're 20, as you say. Dessie, I'm a wild man for looking at the journey of people and understanding that. I suppose the message of the podcast really is about changing and moving forward in life and going after things and pursuing feats and events and sports and whatever else. And the idea that we're all capable of doing these things. And to me, you're a perfect example of that. And it's very inspiring to be able to find out just how you got into triathlon. Because I know you probably started in the world of rallying. Would that be right?
Yeah, motorsport. My father has been at it all his life. And then I suppose whenever we were able to walk and talk, we got involved too. He was... always had been timekeeping all over the country, actually. Mm-hmm. I seen us heading off. He had a Ford Transit camper, all piled off to it, on the way around the Circuit of Ireland. At that stage, the Circuit of Ireland was started off in Belfast and went right around Ireland, way down around Cork, Kerry, mm-hmm. Killarney, up through Galway. And we would have followed it and timed different stages throughout the whole event. And that's... We did that everywhere.
And that was every year, I suppose?
Every year at all different events. Galway, Donegal, local events all over the north, everywhere.
And you would have done that presumably as a nipper?
Yeah, right up. Even we're still involved in motorsport. There's an event on this Saturday and I'm the clerk of the course for it. It's on in Oma.
Right.
So I'm organising that. It'll be the same as a race director.
Oh, very good.
So I'm the clerk of the course for that. But that's motorsport, which is just totally different,
When did you sort of get into motorsport then? Do you remember like what age you were whenever this all started? I suppose you were...
Well, as soon as I was able to get a licence, then I bought a rally car.
Straight away. That was a bad mistake, to be honest. That was a bad mistake. Then if an entry form come through the door, I filled it up, sent off my money, did the event, and then of the year bills come in for insurance and stuff. I had no money to pay for it. I ended up working day and night. I worked for Scott's Fuels at the time. I know what I worked 9 to 5 in the garage, and then I would have stepped into an Arctic and drove maybe from say 7 o'clock in the evening, maybe to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and then home and to bed, back up again. And I did that for nearly 2 months to pay off my bills. And I said, after that, if I can't put my hand in my pocket and take out an entry fee, I'm not doing it. Oh. And I've kept that motto right up till today. I was thinking that was a bad old habit you'd got yourself into.
That is worse than alcohol or drugs
a heavy addiction.
Or betting.
Oh, that's right. The rallying hits hard.
Oh, God.
So you were obviously, you were hooked straight away in the rallying, like.
Yeah. That's some buzz. You get the same buzz from a technical bike course.
Mm-hmm.
we did one. I don't know whether you did it or not. Let's Try Cavan. I've only ever seen it done once. And it was in the middle of nowhere. We thought we were going to be ambushed. We're down a wee road with grass in the middle of it, in the transit. I in the transit. And I think it was myself and Oren. It was one of Oren's first. And JJ was with us. And somebody else. Might have been Porrick McDermott. But eventually we got into this, where it was, can't even remember the name of the place. Beautiful lake. A paper piped us in for the swim. Did the swim out. And first time, the big course was brilliant. It was 2 laps, but it was so technical. There was hairpins and twists, and it was brilliant. And you really enjoyed it.
You love that carry on. I always see the rally driver coming out and you whenever we're at the Gorge and Glens on a Tuesday night. And every time we come to there's a certain downhill section. I think it's maybe the second half of Keelan's Chase.
Yes, it's brilliant.
Whenever I'm behind you, I just see you disappearing into the distance, and I'm both terrified for you and buzzing for you at the same time, because I think really there goes Dessie away down there like a madman, like you're away like the clappers, and I'm thinking he's loving it.
Oh yeah.
I'm also thinking, please don't fall and hurt yourself for Christ's sake.
This last, especially this year now, we haven't got out as much as we did previously. But I'm just taking that a wee bit easier. JJ's accident scared me now. Well, not say scared me, but it just put manners on me.
It kind of puts the wind up us.
Yeah. But that was my motorsport days, and I've had a car since.
You're still into the rallying?
Still into it.
Big time. And are you not the driver or the navigator? I'm not into the rallying, so I'm not too sure.
I'll be driver. But not big time, no. I would only do maybe 4 events in a year, and that's it. You know, it's just blows off steam.
Aye.
And the car, when it's sitting there for 8 or 9 months, it costs nothing just to sit there.
I know what you mean.
If you had a horse or anything else, you have to feed it. You know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you're a dab hand at making sure that the car is up to speed anyway. For you're a mechanic by trade. So
yeah.
You have all the bits and bobs at hand. The other thing I was going to chat to you about was the canoeing.
Yeah, I started that at school at the Brothers actually. They were the first ones. With Roddy Tierney. He was principal for a while. He's retired now, but he got me into that, and then I joined Loch McCrory Canoe Club. Believe it or not.
Aye.
Now that's going back, and that must be the 70s.
Who would have been in that?
Harry White and Micky McAleer.
Right.
So I went along. We built all our own canoes first, and then you paddled around the loch, but we did an expedition then from the river, down on the River Shannon, starting off outside Cavan, went the whole way to Limerick, and camped along the way. I think it was 7 or 8 days. Great expedition.
Davy Crockett, eat your heart out. When you say you built your own canoes, what does that look like?
Fiberglass. They had got fiberglass molds.
Right.
And you just start with putting on a layer of gel coat, and then you started with a paintbrush and a ton of fiberglass. And you just started dabbing away, and you built it in 2 halves. And then you put it together and put in the seat and fiberglass the whole thing. Oh, great experience.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's deadly.
There's no such thing. Nowadays the canoes are all plastic.
Aye.
Those days there's no such thing. The board, I think it's the Western Education and Library Board, because the club was affiliated with them, they give you the molds, and then you built your own fleet of stuff.
Christ,
so
that's unreal.
I think there was 10 of us doing it, so each one built our own canoes, so we built 10 canoes. Oh, that's the 70s. Times have changed since then.
Hey, that's unreal. Like, when you think about the convenience of everything now.
But they were a ton weight. It took 2 men to carry them.
But hey, it must have been some pride to be had. You know,
those days, like, what was I, 15 or 16? You didn't appreciate it.
But would you not have been going out sort of half praying to yourself, thinking, I hope to God this thing stays together?
You didn't care.
We crossed that bridge when we come.
Oh, yes. Sure, if it's not what it was. It's far better crack if somebody had one with a hole in it. when it started to go down.
Get the chewing gum out.
Oh yeah, anything and everything to plug it. Yeah.
So
that canoeing that started off then, and then with the Loch McCrory Canoe Club, and then the board were also running instructors courses, so they sort of encouraged me to go along and do that, and I did. I went along and started canoeing with Lucy's father, Paddy Grant.
Paddy Grant, yeah.
And me and him clicked from word go. Same mentality, same, ideas, just there for the crack,
Yeah. And you two men would have been leaders or youth leaders at one point, weren't you?
Yes, yeah.
Because I remember as a cub being in the youth club in Oma.
Oma Boys and Girls, was it?
Just the one at the leisure centre.
Right.
But there was a summer scheme. And we would have went to the summer scheme, and occasionally, if you were lucky enough and the weather fell right, you'd get up to the gorge and glens, you'd do a bit of gorge walking.
Oh, yeah.
And there'd be a bit of canoeing and this, that, and the other. And I remember Paddy Grant at that, and presumably you were there.
I probably was there as well, yeah. Yeah. Anytime we were working with Paddy, he was always in charge. But the board, I went through and did my instructors, and then did senior instructor, and then did instructor at sea, and did advanced proficiency, and a whole lot of courses like that, mountaineering courses. So then when we were qualified, sometimes if Paddy was double booked, they would send groups to me and I would take them out.
Aye.
It was, some time, but times have changed from then.
But hey, you're still at the canoeing.
Still at it. I didn't give it up. I got very selfish and just paddled for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped taking out groups. And Loch McCrory started up again and asked me would I help, and I would I run it, and I said no, I wouldn't at the time. But I said, look, I'll come up and help you out when I can.
Aye. And
I went to the very first one, and I never missed one since. I just fell in love with it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, really.
The passion was there.
Oh, aye. But that's, you're going back at, whenever we were, after Loch McCrory sort of folded, and myself and Paddy Grant started Oma Canoe Club, when we got ones involved, and we've led 3 expeditions over to France, whitewater paddling in France. And
what sort of an experience was that like?
Unbelievable.
Big crew of yous, was there?
No, well, we started off, we left it open for as many people as we want, and then we had a date. You had to have your deposit in. We're only taking 12 people. So the date was there that the deposit had to be in. As soon as we got the 12 deposits, that was it. Now, there were still people we training 16 people at that time. And the day before that we were to go, or not the day before, but a month before, we were down to 12 that could go.
Mm-hmm.
The rest were still training with us, but sorry, not 12, 14. 12 had paid the deposits. There was 2 others that wanted to go, and they were waiting for somebody to drop out. We just, on the day, was the teams going. We had only 12 places booked. We had 2 people in the bus and got them onto the boat. But that was we were trying to raise money, so that they didn't have to just make it as cheap as possible. It's not cheap going to France for 2 weeks.
No.
And what we did was we got one of the expeditions that we did was we took a 53-seater minibus to Dundonald Icebow, and we charged everybody. I think it was only something like a tenner, but we had a 53-seater minibus, and we had 106 people on it.
Like the TARDIS.
Right? Exactly. But when we went up there, and on the way to Dundonald, that's where it was, and I seen this van for sale, and I knew the van because it was a service van from one of the fella Kieran McMillan, and I recognised it right away. So it would have had an operated suspension. Now we were hiring a minibus to take us to France, self-drive one. It was costing us, I think it was £800 for the 2 weeks that time. I mean, this is going back to 1988.
Yeah.
So when they were all in Dundonald, I got your man on the bus to run me down spoke to them, and we ended up with bought it and drove it home.
Deadly.
We drove the money, it was a van at that stage, and we took in into it. I think we only had something like a month, and we cut windows in it, and we put seats in it, and painted it, and put a big roof rack on it, and had it finished the day before we were supposed to go.
Mighty stuff.
And off we went to France in it.
And then in France, the white water in France, is it whiter than the white water here? Or what was the story with France? I'm trying to figure out what drew you to that.
The best, the rivers over here, the rivers are graded, they're different now. They were graded from grade 1 to grade 6.
Mm-hmm.
The roughest river you get here would be grade 3.
Right.
Over there, you're chatting grade 4 and grade 5. But they would be wider and not as our grade 3 would be very technical. It would be like a slalom course, or, it would be very technical, very hard to describe. Downhill mountain bike track. Well, there's out there, if you can imagine the gravel grinder out, the big wide and rough water, but it would be grade 4 and grade 5.
And is that just the pitch that it's coming down at, the flow, the volume of water? And...
Yeah, it's up in the Alps. And it's ice melt.
Constant stream of water.
Big water.
Sounds spectacular.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. We had some time. Some crack.
So how many times did you do that?
We did it 3. The first time we were out, we blew a head gasket in the van. And
I thought that was a metaphor for something there.
Nope. So everybody went off to climb the mountains because we're up in the Alps. So we sent them off and we stripped the engine, myself and the brother, Declan, and we on two bikes, with bikes with us as well, and cycled down to the nearest town and went in looking about a head gasket for a transit. And there's a Ford garage there, and we were going in and we were using, I think it's Tet as head, but head is the head on your shoulders, not the head of an engine. So we were looking for this, and he thought we lost the head altogether. So eventually they got somebody who could speak English, and he come over, and then when we were explaining to him, and he just fell over laughing. But he went and he got us the head gasket, and we rebuilt the engine and back on the road. Back on the road again.
Sort of, I'm thinking it's like an episode or a scene from Allo.
Oh, it was very like it, but it was
La Tête de la Gasket.
That's more or less that, and we were just going by, what we would call a head, of the head of an engine, and to translate that, it was the head on your shoulders.
Right.
So we were looking at gasket for a head on your shoulders. Yeah. But it was, they were sometime, like that time that we got on the boat, and we had, as I said, we had 14 people, but we had only 12 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So we had 2 people under the seats, and we went in, and then of course everybody got out and mayhem, so nobody account would be grand. So we were all up in the bar, and next thing had come through with owner of registration vehicle, NAJ 433, which was ours. Please come to main office. And I thought,
rumbled.
So I went down to them anyway, and I went in, and he says, we have a bit of a problem. And I says, come sure, whatever it is, we'll be able to sort it out. And he says, we didn't notice you got a table upside down on the roof of your van, and we let the floor down and broke the legs of your table.
Right.
Never you worry about the legs of the table. Never you worry about them. If that's all, you forget about it. He says, do you want a claim form? I says, nope, forget you about it. We're all good.
Happy days.
You happy enough? Yep, we're happy enough. Thank you very much.
Never bothered.
And then we went again. We were sure this was it. We're going to have to pay, and maybe pay a fine or whatever it was. But no, we'll get away with it all right.
Deadly stuff.
Shouldn't be telling you this.
It's okay. We've got anything that's said in the podcast is said with jest. You can't be held liable.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Exactly. Exactly that.
Yeah. No, well, that's where I started off canoeing, and then working with different groups, and worked in the summer camp. Would have took time off Scots. Would have went down to the summer camp and worked there during the 5 days. Mm-hmm. And then if Scots needed anything at night, I would have worked through the night to sort them out. And at the weekends to keep them going too. But we had summer camps were great crack too.
Hey, you don't go at anything half-heartedly, Dessie. It would be fair to say, like You're a workhorse.
As my father says, if you want to do something, you might as well do it right.
Oh well, that's true enough.
But I think that's where, if you've been to some of the prize givings, all the quirky games and that all come from.
Mm-hmm. Aye.
You know, if you're working down in a summer camp and you're doing this week in and week out, it's the same thing. So you say, let's try something different. So
mix it up a bit.
That's where a lot of them would come out of.
And tell me, did you ever do any of the competitive canoeing?
We did, yeah. There's one of the we competed in a lot of races, but I was there for the crack.
Aye.
You know, and we would have, a lot of the boys was very competitive. Stevie Duncan, you know Stevie would have paddled with us. Stevie's very competitive.
Yes.
And always was.
In a good way.
This is Stevie, I hope you're listening to this. This is the only time that I've ever beat him. That's canoeing.
Yeah.
So, but we would have one of the biggest whitewater races in Ireland is the Finn race down Donegal.
Right.
And I won it twice.
Deadly.
Yeah. But we were those 2 days we had a point to prove. It's a bit like triathlon, us going to James McManus, like we nearly cleaned every age group. Well, the canoeing was the same, it was age groups, and we had very competitive paddlers who again they were how would you describe it? They were there for the crack as well, but they were good. They were really, really good, and they would have cleaned every age group.
And was that just point to point?
Yes.
As fast as you can get there, pretty much.
It's usually I think it was about 5 miles.
And that's everybody goes off at the one time, or is it all timed? Or?
No, you go off in 30-second intervals.
Right.
Now, the fella that won it twice before, fella Marcus Isherwood, and I deliberately started.
I know Marcus from the town
Marcus,
here. Yeah.
He was with Aaron Paddlers. We used to great crack with him. But I deliberately
There's all these closet canoeists coming out here.
Yeah, I would have started right behind him to try and catch him, because I knew that if I could catch him, then I'm up in there with a chance of at least one in the age group.
You could see your 30-second gap. If you could close that down,
But if he makes one mistake, then you can close up. But if you make a mistake, he pulls away.
He's away.
Yeah.
So
I did that, and we competed all over Ireland. But again, sometimes we'd be going down and you come to a spot where it was a nice wee bit of water, and you would end up playing about in it instead of racing. You know?
You would just forget your brief.
Yeah, you just go on. We did the Liffey descent too. It's 26 miles. It's a marathon, and we did it again for the crack, just to say we did it.
So, how many years were you at the canoeing?
Oh God.
There's a question that put you on the spot.
Well, I probably started in the
brothers,
70s. Yeah. When I was about 11, you're probably chatting 45 years. Took a wee break whenever the children were born after I got married. But we still would have went out. I would have went up to the lake and went paddling, but we didn't really.
I'm just thinking of the physicality of it, like, you know, because your upper body strength and your core strength must be. You must be.
They were brilliant at that stage. It really was good.
And you still are strong. You know, you still have got that core strength. You know, you sit up whenever you're up, and it's particularly evident on the mountain bike. Probably more evident on the mountain bike when you're sitting up on the bike. You're able to hold your position really, really strong and really firm. You know, you sit tall. You're nice straight back. And you can tell, you know.
That would be from the canoeing, because you see a lot of them, and I would always tell them whenever they're lying back, don't lie back, sit up straight. Because you lie back, you're relaxing, but if you sit forward, keep the back nice and straight, you are using your whole core. But as well as that, when you're paddling, you're using far more. It's a bit like this woman where you rotate. You rotate from the waist. You know, it's just not your arms. You rotate from the waist, and it's like pedaling a bike. You push with the feet and pull with the arm. Because
your coordination's on point. Like you going down, I know and there's a part of me that is a bit reckless and a risk taker. And I think there's a playful side of you that's quite similar. But you will get down a mountain bike trail quicker than I will, because you've got a much stronger core, I think. And you can read the lines from the rallying. And then you've got all them twists and turns from the canoeing. Do you know what I mean? There's all these wee different life experiences that just lend itself for you to get down there in a much better way than I can. I'll never be able to do what you can do on a mountain bike.
Oh, I can see you will.
Do you know what I mean, though? But it just goes to show you, like, stuff stands to you. Like,
okay, it does. It definitely does. It definitely does. But the canoeing was part of my life for a long, long time. And taking out groups, we took out different groups, and working with the summer camps. And the times are so different now, you know.
Aye.
Everything now is, you have to do a checklist and a risk assessment. Like, we used to take the groups away to Rusnella on every, I think it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday. We took them down for the day. It was easy for us. You let them tear away. They built sand castles, went in surfing in the canoes, and you went in with them and you watched them, and that was handy. But I remember we had one group down anyway, and we landed. You always had to be back for a certain time for the food. So, right, it's a beautiful sunny day, and the crack was good, and says, here, we're running late. Everybody, into the bus. And I remember there was these 3 wee children, and we saying, and they were saying, no, but, and we didn't. I didn't listen. Get in, it doesn't matter what bus you come and jump in there. We're going home, the other bus was away, so up the road we went, and landed back at summer camp. Everybody went and got changed. Right, come on in for your dinner. These 3 wee children were standing there. I sort of looked around. All the tables are full. Who are they? So, some of the ones that were down with us at the summer camp, their cousins happened to be in Rusnella. And they were down playing with them. And we went to the bus and landed them back.
Accidentally.
Now, there's no mobile phones. So we had no mobile phones. We had to phone the guards.
Oh, Jesus
Christ.
And
tell them...
I can explain everything.
We have 3 children here that don't belong to us.
Yeah,
in fact, we stole them from Rusnella Beach, more or less. We kidnapped them.
Oh, man.
Now, we knew their names. That was it. They didn't know what caravan park we're in. But I phoned the guards in Donegal, who had to go to Rusnella and go around every caravan park to try and find out who was missing 3 children.
And you probably couldn't find their oil pair because they were out looking for them.
Well, no, they weren't, because the way it was in those days, the kids went out and they would have went way over to the next one. And whenever it come tea time, they would wander back.
Aye.
So it was, whenever the guards found out, eventually, it might have been 3 hours later when the phone in the centre rung, and it was the parents.
Mm-hmm.
And we says, look, they're here with us. It's a summer camp, explained who we were, what had happened. We can do one of 2 things. We can run them back down to you now. We can run them back down to you tomorrow. Or if you want to, they can stay here the rest of the week. There's plenty of spare clothes and there's plenty of food. We look after them. And so you enjoy your nieces. Leave it like that.
You keep them for the week.
You keep them for the week. So we kept them for the week.
It's such crazy adventures of the 70s.
Yeah, but it wouldn't happen. Couldn't happen nowadays.
Oh, Christ. It doesn't even bear thinking about what sort of handlings you'd land yourself in nowadays if that happened.
Yeah. You've often landed back. The only time it happened with me was actually Lucy. We stopped at a shop coming back and stopped in Newton Stewart and got back into the bus and all we went. And Lucy was still sitting in the shop, come out. She ended up, she had to walk back to Gorton. We forgot all about her. And nobody noticed her missing.
Aye. Yeah. See, but that's shy and retiring, you see.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, it reminds me of, I can't remember if you were involved, but I'm certain that Paddy Grant was involved because when Roddy was still at the school whenever I was at the school. And in the run-up to my GCSEs, there was an opportunity for us to do a 6 or 7 or 8 week canoeing course.
Yes.
And I, of course, jumped at this idea. I thought, I'm in. And my ma tried to talk me out of it. God rest her. Oh, your GCSEs are coming up. was made to tell you the GCSEs will be grand. There's canoeing, and I want to do the canoeing. I got into it anyway. But you talk about risk assessment, like,
oh no,
there was a situation where we had got to the stage where we were going to go down the fisheries at Newton Stewart.
Oh, lovely, yeah.
And we had parked up on the side of the road, and we had traversed down this field.
Yep.
And we got into the canoes, and it was one of the lads. I don't know whether I should mention his name or not, but Conor Gillespie. Big Conor.
I know Conor well, yeah.
Conor was in the year above me, and he was in the thing. Poor old Conor kept capsizing the canoe, you see.
Right.
And there was on this day, whenever we got to the fisheries, we got into the canoes on the grass, and we were sliding down. That's right. into the water.
Yeah.
So we all got in, and the next thing there was this wildish clatter, and there was this bit of squealing going on, and we looked over, and there was Gillespie. The one end of the canoe was up in the river bank. The nose of the canoe was buried in the gravel and the thing. He was upside down, hanging. It capsized before he got into the freaking water. Wild memories, deadly memories. But then we come to this bit in the river where the whole river kind of channeled into a wee bit.
Yeah.
It's like a wee waterfall.
It's funny water.
Aye.
Oh, yes, I know the place you're chatting about it.
And we were told that we have to go across the water diagonally, fighting upstream.
Yes.
And as we're moving out, a voice shouts, PLF.
Mm-hmm. Paddle like.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because I said, what does that mean? What do you mean? Paddle like fuck.
That's it. PLF.
Aye.
Yeah.
And of course, I PLF'd my way across the river. And as it was coming around to get into the thing, the canoe went up onto the rock, and the whole river was racing, and then I just coped into the middle. I think Chuck Cunningham was there. Rory Cunningham would have been there.
Is that right?
I think he might have been there.
He was in one of our expeditions to France.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah.
Chris, that's bringing all them memories back.
They were all volunteer leaders with me whenever we were down doing different taking out groups.
I think
lifelong friends.
I think I let go of me
your paddle.
And Rory Cunningham brought it back up to me and says, what did I tell you about letting go of your paddle? I'm fighting for my life here. Fuck the paddle.
Was Rory one of the leaders then?
He must have been.
If he was, then I was there too.
There you are.
There you are. That's
that
right.
would have been 1988 or 89 maybe.
88 was the first year that they went to France with me, the first year, 88. So it would have been 89 or 90, somewhere around that.
1990, because I left the Brothers in 92. So GCSEs would have been 2 years. So it would have been 1990.
Yeah. There you are.
Deadly.
Oh, aye.
Mighty stuff.
Mighty days. Great crack. Oh, we met a lot of great people and made lifelong friends out of it. Mm-hmm.
So, Dessie, you're no stranger to the water, clearly. Did things begin to move towards triathlon straight away, or did you get into biking, or
nope?
What way, or where did the thing go?
I remember we were going canoeing, and if you remember the first Omaha half marathon, used to go out the Kevlin Road. Mm-hmm. And we were going over the bridge. The traffic was stopped. We all got out and watched it anyway. And I remember somebody saying, "What's going on here?" Or he says, "Oh, it's Omaha half marathon." And I says, "You'll never get me doing that." Yeah, talk about eating your words. But that's gone back years and years and years ago. From the canoeing, the canoe club, we sort of got into our own wee group, right? Mm-hmm. And then we didn't like taking on new people.
He's got all clicky.
Yes. And I had done years and years and years of teaching and training, and I wanted to enjoy it. Mm. And then the people that you mentioned Chuck there, and Micky, there was Micky McGuire, and who else was there? Lucy McDermott, Lucy Grant then, and me, and all of those people there, Martin Cassie and all that. And they all started then going off to college, and they dwindled back down until I was left back on my own again. Mm-hmm. And I didn't want to take on new ones. And I had met this girl, lovely girl, she was a dentist in the town. Mm-hmm. And we were going out at the time. And we started then cycling. And we were, Oma Wheelers had just formed at the time, and we joined them. And we were actually, we were on the leisure end of it. I was one of the first ones on the committee of the leisure end. We looked after that. Myself, my brother-in-law, Micky McAleer, and a few others, Margaret Corn and that. And was in that for a brave while. And myself and Katrina would have went out cycling. And then when the children come along, the whole thing sort of quietened down. There was less time for it. Still did a wee bit of canoeing, still did a wee bit of rallying, and even less cycling.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I did do every year was always went skiing.
Right.
Always went skiing. From 1988 was the first year I went. And I loved it that much. There was a ski club in the town, and I started, and I put, at that stage it was something like, I think it was £30 a month into the ski account. And come November, he says, right, we're going. Are you on? I'm on. Just tell me what airport and what time. Mm-hmm. That's all I need to know. And I went every year. And it would have been, I suppose it would have been about maybe 2006 at this stage. And I went out skiing. First 2 days, brilliant. Coming towards third, fourth day, the legs were very tired. Mm-hmm. See, the last 2 days, the legs were done. Mm-hmm. And just didn't enjoy the last 2 evenings because you were done. But because you had spent that much money getting out there, you didn't want to waste it. Aye. So when I come home, I says, right, next year, I will be in shape. So I started running in November. Just out, and I thought, right, I remember the first day I went out, I says, I'll go to the leisure centre and I'll go down along Sedan Avenue, down Campsie, over Arleston Road, back to the leisure centre. That'll be a nice wee run to start off with. Mm-hmm. So I started, got as far as the fire station, had to walk as far as the bus depot, walked, ran over Sedan Avenue, walked down Campsie to the filling station, ran to the roundabout, walked to Arleston Road, ran across Arleston Road, walked a wee bit down, and then ran the rest. And I couldn't believe that I was so unfit. Mm-hmm. And it must have took me, doing that twice and sometimes 3 times a week, it took me 3 weeks before I could run the whole thing. But once you got that you're able to run the whole thing, it was great. And then you added a wee bit on each time. So, went skiing, start of the year, had a fantastic week, was in great shape. Come back, Omaha half marathon was 2 weeks later. I'm going to give this a go. Went out and did it. 2 hours 20.
Deadly.
Really enjoyed it. Give it all up till November.
Aye.
And says, right, skiing, I'm going back again. So I was out running and met Glenn Heaney. I don't know if Glenn would have been in the club at the time.
Yep, he was there.
Glenn, he worked with me for a long time in Scots, so we were good friends. And he says, why don't you come and train with us? I said, you boys are all far too fast. Come on round some evening. So I says, right, I'll go round anyway. So I picked up the courage and I went round and joined. And at the running session at that stage was the Harriers and the Tri Club.
Right.
And it was out at, was it a youth sport? I think it was a youth sport. But anyway, did a couple of sessions with them, really enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. And ran away with them, went out on different of the runs and things like that. And again, come back round to the start of the year, went skiing, great time, come back, right, I'm going to do Omaha half marathon again. And did it in 1:58. Brilliant. Took nearly half an hour off my time. Couldn't believe it, was over the moon. But this time, because I was enjoying the crack and was running on them, and of course at this stage they're all say, Peter Scavenger on there as always, now don't forget to renew your membership and all this here, and I wasn't a member. So, and the Harriers were saying the same, but because the two were together, I suppose Harriers might have thought I was with...
You were up to your old tricks again, smuggling people in and out of...
But I felt guilty, so I says, right, I'll join one. And so I decided, right, which is the cheapest?
Let's think long and hard about this.
So all I was at this end was running. I was enjoying the running, I was enjoying the crack. So I joined the Tri Club and ran with them all year.
Cheaper to do 3 sports, hey?
I only wanted to do the one. Only wanted to do the one was the running. And all I was doing it for was to, at that stage, was just, I was enjoying getting back to where I had been in my younger days.
Aye.
Well, I never was heavy, but I was fitter and I was enjoying it. And they were all saying, why don't you come out and do an event or come cycling with us? And the bike what I had would have been one I had when I was 10 years old. I never had a bike. But anyway, I would have had a mountain bike because we would have used that when we were canoeing. Sometimes we would have driven the van 5 miles down the road, jumped on the bike and cycled back up, got into the canoe, did the river trip, all into the van, back up and lifted the bike and away home again.
Aye.
And the bike you would have sort of threw over the hedge and had it. And then I found out if you had a better bike, you can come up quicker. So I bought a right decent mountain bike. So they decided then they were doing the winter duathlons. And I said, I'll give one of these a go for a bit of crack. And the first one I went, it was up in Craigan, and it was snowing. I never laughed as much in my life. I must have had off the bike about 20 times. But I never laughed as much in my life. And I said, geez, if this is what triathlon is, I'm going to give this a go. So, and with all water, I loved water, right? And Peter Scavington would have said to me, you're good in the water, like you should, give triathlons, you would be excellent at it. And I always keep saying, the idea, we would have learned strokes that if you capsized, you didn't swim. The idea is not to swim. We would have rolled the boat back up and continued on.
Yes.
The last thing you wanted to do was swim.
Yes.
So, and I remember telling Paddy Grant that I was going to try this, and his description, he says, I seen you swimming. He says, as far as I mind, it's a bit like a frog in a blender. That was his description of me swimming. But I had got it into my head, right, I'm going to give this a go. I'll give one a go anyway. And I went into the swimming pool a couple of times on my own. I didn't go in with a tri club because I wanted to see, could I swim? Because it had been years. Now, I had done my bronze medallion rescuing and all that. You had to do that for canoeing. And you also had to be able to rescue. You had to capsize and swim, but you were swimming with buoyancy aids and stuff. Not in the pool, right enough. You were doing all that sort of stuff. So I went in and I swam 5 or 6 lengths, and I says, this mightn't be too bad. I might give it a go. And it was, I didn't enter any, and I went out. They were going out on a Saturday. Saturday didn't suit me, so I always went out with myself on the bike on a Sunday. But I never would have done big mileage. And I remember Lisa Wallace put up, at that stage it was text messages, she had an entry for Mullockmore and she couldn't go with anybody interested in it. And I says, I'll do it. So I texted her back, says, I'll take it. And so I went down to Mullockmore to do it. And the year before, there was ones rescued out of it. It was that rough. Nobody told me that.
No.
Right? So I knew nothing about this. Now, I heard that on the morning, and I thought, oh my God, what have I let myself into?
Yeah.
So, and then anyway, and I told them, the organisers, look, Lisa couldn't make it, I'm there in her place. And I says, oh, that's okay. You don't mind if you start with the girls, because it's with the way the timing works. I said, no, I don't care. So that was grand. I got into the water. It was a nice, calm day. It was a lovely sunny day, actually. And I started swimming. And I got out to the buoy and looked up and sighted and swam breaststroke and crawled and breaststroke and eventually made it out of the water. And I come up and struggled to get the wetsuit off because I hadn't got a proper triathlon wetsuit. I had my winter wetsuit for canoeing.
From the canoeing?
Yep. I had opted for comfort more than aerodynamic or speed.
Wouldn't have been too much flexibility in it then or nothing
and it must have took me 5 minutes getting out of it and transition. But I remember getting out and there was still 2 bikes there and I was not last out of the water.
Maybe.
And I was over and as I happened, it was McElroy. Kieran McElroy. Yeah, he was. And I said, so still 2 people out swimming. As I was going out past. And I wish he hadn't opened his mouth But he says, no. He says, they're back. They're way out on the run.
For Christ's sake.
And I'm only getting on the bike.
For God's sake, Kieran, could you not lie? Like, give a man a break.
I would tell newcomers that story and leave it at that. But actually, there was 3 waves that started 10 minutes apart or something like that. So I actually started 30 minutes behind them. So it's not as bad as it sounds. But it's a good story when you're telling beginners,
don't feel so bad.
You don't feel so bad, yeah. But that is my first event. My very first event. And I just loved it after that.
Do you mind when that was? How long ago was that?
Oh, for God's sake.
Must have been...
Oh, well, look...
12,
I'm only...
20,
I think in 12 years... 2000... What's this? It would have been 2012. I think it was.
Deadly.
Yeah. And I think that was the only event that I did that year.
Aye.
Yeah.
I joined the club in 2014.
Yes.
Or 2015 for 2 or 3 years. And then my mum got ill and then I took a back seat, took a break off everything for a while. And then I've been giving it a decent crack now.
Yeah.
But you're going
well. You're going well now.
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
But you were when you joined in 2012. You've been in it then every year since.
Yeah, I've been in it every year since, and I've been loving it. And thanks to Katrina, like what she had to put up with. I would up here and away. The Waynes were younger then. Right, it's okay now. They're all involved and they're all loving it, and she's involved now and loving it too. If I could only get her into swim, but she's determined that nope, I don't swim, and that's it. So,
well, it's a work in progress.
No, I'll be afraid that if she did, actually, she would beat me.
Well,
so as long as she stays out of the water, I'm happy enough.
I will then. That's it.
But they
don't take her on a triathlon, whatever you do.
No, we've done a few events this year, and we did one event, the gravel grinder. You did it as well,
yeah.
And up the hills, she was absolutely flying. She was waiting for us at the top, and I said to her, "You know something? If you could go up hills, if you could learn to go down hills, because if you could go down hills quicker, if you weren't as nervous, because she is nervous going down hills." I says, there'll be no catch in you.
No, not a bit.
And she says, if you could learn to go up hills.
Touche.
Never thought of that.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So I'm learning. I'm trying to get hill fit now.
It's not easy trying to get the hills. No, the hills are...
When you look back at it then, I suppose I was lucky that I was able to, that I was allowed, that I was given the time to go out and do these things, because I was still involved in motorsport and I was still involved a bit in canoeing. And although I would have taken I remember when Alana was only a baby, we had a child seat and I strapped it in the back of the Canadian canoe and took her with me down the river. And she was only about, 9-10 months old. And we had her down the river in it.
Most people will be putting their way into the shopping trolley there and pushing them right nasty. You've got the kids going over waterfalls.
Well, get used to it. Get used to the water.
This is what you're born into. Brace yourself. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
But that was just pure accident that I just got into that was to get fit for skiing, and now I'm really enjoying it. And last year I chose to go to the training camp in Lanzarote rather than go skiing. And I must say I got the same buzz. See those downhills in Lanzarote.
Unreal, aren't they?
49 mile an hour, 49.8 and could not get the 50. My legs would not go hard enough. I could not.
The legs going like the clappers, just. Yeah. Hey, that's unreal. Yeah. I know there's just that wee streak of badness or madness, or maybe it's a bit of both.
A bit of both, yeah. I think it all goes right back to the canoeing. What I was saying about when you were doing the same thing week in, week out, you try to get something, and make it a bit varied and make it more interesting. And we come up with games, we come up with different things that you would play at night, or if it was, if it's raining or whatever.
Just keeping pushing things that wee bit more and finding a wee age.
And thinking outside the box. we used to have a campfire, and I remember the first time we were having it, right, need a few volunteers to come and yell at turf. Not one volunteer you would get.
Mm-hmm.
So the next time I think, right, we need a few volunteers. Of course they say, what for? We're going to rob a bog, right? You need to wear black clothes, go out, get muck, black in your face, right? And we're going, and the bus was full, right?
Good,
and it was our own turf.
Aye.
So we went out then, stopped half a mile up the road, down along the hedges, climbing over hedges of cars were coming and hiding, down, filling bags of turf, sneaking them back up into the van and away again.
The Wayne's loving it.
Loving it. So then the following week, my dad down with a big flashlight and a gun. Even better, right? The stories they told then when they come back. The farmer come out with a gun.
Aye.
You know,
they were buzzing.
Oh, they were buzzing because they were robbing this place. It was our own turf. But you couldn't, you know,
that's
think outside the box. You know.
Oh, that's mighty stuff.
And so it's the same whenever whenever I go out and I enter the race, it's not a race. You know, for me, it's go down there and have a bit of crack and enjoy it. And really enjoy it.
One of my favourite yarns that you've told me in the past, and it's probably a good enough example of thinking outside of the box, was a rather bizarre nutritional item that you decided that would be a good idea to stop off. I think it was during a 70.3. Did you... Was this... I'm thinking of Tri Limits. Whenever you... Did you stop off and get yourself a strange... product?
It was... Well, I mean, before every event, everybody has their own wee routine. I have mine too, right? Before Omaha Marathon, I have a fry.
Big dirty fry.
And if we've gone down to James McManus, stop at the wee filling station out to Enniskillen and get a good big breakfast bap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sets you up for the day.
What's your fry? What's your fry look like at the Omaha Marathon?
Well, I wouldn't have a big one now. I would only have maybe one sausage.
3 or 4 sausages.
No, one sausage, 2 slices of bacon, a piece of pretty bread, a lot of beans, and maybe a fried egg.
Aye.
I wouldn't want to go overboard. Two hours before.
Aye.
And if you're going for breakfast, about an hour before it's grand. Or like last year, I finished it on my way walking up to the start line.
If Stevie Duncan's still listening, he's just spat his coffee all over the place.
But I don't drink tea or coffee. Right. I remember one Sunday we were out on the bike and we stopped at the usual coffee stop, and I would always have a hot chocolate. But for some reason I read it wrong and had the mocha, which is hot chocolate and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't notice it come out. That tastes very funny. And Oren tasted, and he says, "There's coffee in that." Oh God! But it was quite a cold day, and I says, "I'll drink it anyway," and I drank it. Well, the hit that I got from that.
You were buzzing.
Oh, what? It was unbelievable.
Park that a minute, because there's another story I want you to tell me about being buzzing, but I want to take you back to Tri Limits. What happened in Tri Limits that made you had to get off the bike at the...
Yeah.
Was it a filling station?
Yeah, I come out of the swim and come up, and it's the very first time I did there was a lot to learn in that Tri Limits, that event, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you another story that very few people know about, and you're not allowed to tell anybody.
No, I'll say nothing.
Right? So everybody that's listening to this podcast, turn it off now for 2 minutes and then turn it back on. You make them put it in when you hear it anyway. But anyway, the first time I says, right, one bottle is not going to be enough. So I had bought one of those cages that fit on the back of the seat.
Yeah.
And I had me 2 bottles in that. And then I had me one between the T-bars.
Yeah.
And come out, up, transition, 1 foot on the pedals, through the leg over, kick the cage, 2 bottles out, down, and just bust open on the ground.
Right.
And the whole stuff out. I couldn't believe it. So I threw them into the hedge, and on I went out. And I says, right, I'll limit this, what I drink. But you know yourself, when you need a drink, you need a drink.
Aye.
And eventually I ran out of stuff. I was sucking away and there was nothing there. And I says, right, I have to stop at the shop. So I went into the shop and I bought me a big bottle of water. And when I was over to pay for it, your woman was putting out ice creams, and I said, I'll have one of them too, just give me a 99 there. So she gave me a 99, and I come out and filled my water bottle and ate me ice cream. And if you're in a race, you know you just can't sit there. So I got on the bike with my ice cream, and you're still moving. You're not going race speed, but at least you're going up the road. So I enjoyed my ice cream as I went up the road.
You sitting up on
it? Cycled on up the road and ate my ice cream. And
never spilled a drop.
Never spilled a drop. But as well as that, it took you maybe 5 or 6 minutes. That's a mile. You know, even if you're going slow. So you've done a mile, and you don't even realise it.
And quite tasty mile it was, too.
Oh, it was great. It was great. But that was my first ever half. And another thing that happened that day was, I remember getting ready the day before, or the week before, and getting everything sorted out. And suddenly I thought to myself, do you know something? Anytime I've done long distance, I'm in cycling shorts. I have never done that sort of distance in a tri-suit. And as you know yourself, the padding wouldn't be the same.
Mm-hmm.
This making, I could be sore. So I went and got myself a pair of, usually I had above shorts, but under Caldwell's, and I bought a pair of cycling shorts, slightly bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we come out of the swim, into transition, got the wetsuit off, pulled on the cycling shorts, onto the bike. Oh, it was like an armchair. It was great.
Was this over the tri-suit?
Just over the tri-suit.
Oh, for extra padding.
Yeah, for extra padding.
Yeah.
Fantastic idea. Would recommend it to anybody for an extra 5 or 10 seconds. But
here comes the bus.
Here comes the bus. That was grand. Come down, got off the bike. Perfect. And on the runners. Finished off the drink. Out on the run. Was feeling great. Down along. First, if you know the tri-limits course, you go out and you do the loop and you come back and you head out again. And I, as Billy Conway would say, I could feel a big jobby coming on.
Oh dear.
So there's a water stop down here and there's a toilet. Great job. So, and the toilet was empty. And shorts down, sat down and thought, this doesn't feel right. Something not right here. Oh no! I thought I was wearing the tri-suit as well.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Lesson learned.
Oh, fuck. And you were looking to get back into the water?
Yes. So it took a wee bit extra to get all sorted out. But we got back out and got back on the run. And on we went. So.
There'd have been some hum of you on the way home.
No, don't talk to me.
That's a good job you didn't podium that day.
I never, there's no way I was going to podium and anything like that. In fact, I'm very surprised. I think this year's the first year I've actually won my age group because I moved up and Seamus and Adrian didn't appear. So,
right. Yeah.
Unfortunately, them boys will have to work out how to. I've tried letting wheels down and hiding their shoes, but it never works. So they always seem to. Yeah.
So the top tip is that if you're going to take a dump in a 70.3, make sure you drop the dogs.
Make sure you drop the whole on. But I still, even whenever we did Pergera and that, I still pull on an extra pair of shorts. I've never done that distance in the tri-suit.
Just in the tri-suit,
yeah. I always thought, you know,
why not get the extra comfort? You've mentioned Pergera. Pergera was the other thing that you told me about the time. You've already said that you didn't drink tea or coffee.
No. Some don't.
In Challenge Pergera, or I keep saying Pergera like the bloody friggin' Jungle Book, isn't it, that black cat? In Pergera, you did, wasn't it did you have Red Bull?
Yeah.
How did that hit you?
Oh, we did the swim. Swim was perfect. And got on the bike. I actually fell off the bike. Coming down. Just going far too hard.
Aye.
And I was loving it. And there was 2 people in front of me and I shouted, on your right. And I went out to go around them. And, they were one behind the other. And as I went to go out past the 2, and your man on the inside pulled out to pass this person as well. Now, I'm thinking afterwards, they probably didn't know what I said because they were local.
Right.
So I had to go out wide, and I clipped one of the cones, and down I went. And if you've ever done it, there's one place where you go up and you come back down the same route. So I was afraid I was going to take somebody out because I was now sliding.
Right, yes.
As ours were tapped down the wrong side of the road.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, gathered myself up, got over, got the cones back in, got the handlebars straightened, got back on the bike, and on I went. And I remember cycling along and looking down and seeing blood. I'm thinking, jeez, I must have cut myself. And looking down the legs, and I couldn't see any marks. I seen a couple of wee grazes. And then I realised my hands were all cut.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't worry about it. There was no pain. But anyway, figured, right, my bike's finished now. But I landed back, or my run, probably not for a run. Landed back, went out on the run, and it was grand. It's 4 laps, isn't it? First lap, sure. Absolutely perfect. And as you run along the seafront, right, the promenade, and there's one place there's a water stop, and right beside it there was a shower for people coming off the beach. So I always got my glass of water, drunk half the water, stood in the shower 5-6 seconds, come out, finished the water, and continued on the run. But when I come round the last time and come round in for the water, and he says, no water, and he handed me a can of Red Bull. Now I hate Red Bull. But he put it in my hand, and it was ice cold. Now I mean ice cold. And I thought, oh, it's cold. So I opened it. I downed half the can, set it down the wall, got into my shower, come out, finished the can, and on I went. And I had half a lap to go, which was probably about, I think it's about 3K, would it be? 2K or 3K. I wouldn't have been half a kilometre into it. And I took off. Now, I mean, I just took off. And when I come round to the finish, I was buzzing. Mm-hmm. I should have took that at the start. I couldn't stop. I wanted to do another lap.
You're high as a kite.
But just, we'll go back to actually the start of that. Whenever I come out of off the bike, right, and come out of transition, and you run along, and there's the red carpet. If you've ever done it, there's a red carpet as you're coming along, and then there's a sign telling you left 4 laps, right for finish. But I come out of the transition and I go onto the carpet and round, and I ran and round, and all these people were clapping and cheering, and I was wagging and running round the corner, and here was the finish and the time clock, and I thought, how long a wee minute?
You straight through into the finishing chute.
I hadn't done 200 yards. And I had to turn around and run back out, and everybody was looking at me. And then I went on and I ran the route. And I remember chatting to somebody as I was coming back round, and I said to him, you think they'll put up a sign saying laps left, and finish right? And he says, there is a sign. Well, I says, can't be too big. And I come round, and I guarantee it was half the size of a lorry, this big sign. And I never seen it. But anyway, when I finished, and I was still buzzing. And I was buzzing the whole evening.
You should maybe think about throwing an old can of Red Bull into your transition bag, hey?
I was thinking of throwing it into the water bottle, but I tried a thing once before, actually. I took 3 gels and I put them into the water bottle.
I would do that another time, yeah.
Did you?
I would put 2.
Well, I'll give you another wee. Here's another wee tip for you. Don't do it the night before.
Right.
Because I did that, and out and was on the bike and says, right, take a drink. And it was, again, with the TT bike, so it had the straw. It had all congealed again back to the bottom of the...
Oh, right.
And I couldn't get a drink, and I was sucking, and nothing would come up.
It must have reacted then with the water and become
I think it just all went back to its normal...
It all settled?
Yeah, and it all settled back to the bottom, and I couldn't get a drink.
There you are.
And I couldn't...
Bunged the whole thing up.
Normally you could slip the water bottle out and sort of half, but I'd lost the wee clip, and I had it insulated taped in, because no time I've seen me having, in one race, I was actually cycling with my fingers on the bottle to hold the bottle in. I said, that'll not happen again. I insulated every time then, so it would never move, but I couldn't get a drink. There's how many of 70.3s have you done? Des, can you? I did tri limits 3 times. I did it. Do you remember the time that it was stopped because of the bad weather?
The weather, aye.
Yeah. I remember doing it that time, and I was coming round to the last lap of the bike, and one of our boys was standing. There was a policeman holding him up, and I stopped with him to see was he all right. Now, as I had come down the road, I knew Katrina, she was there watching us, and I knew that she was there. So I said, I'll go up and get her to come down and lift you. So, and I had just caught up with Lucy actually at the time, and I spoke to Lucy, but we're just at the turnaround point. And Lucy never spoke to me. And I says, oh, she's a race head on. So then, when I left there and went up, and I caught up with Lucy, and as I was catching her, she was wobbling all over the place. And I got up beside her and I spoke to her. And I shouted at her, and I shouted again, and then she looked round. And she was gone. She was foaming at the mouth. And I got her stopped beside Katrina, and we got her into the car. And it wasn't that she was shivering that much that the bike was shaking. So we got her into the car anyway, and Katrina took her up. The event actually was cut short because of the weather, but it had started off a beautiful day. And all of a sudden the weather, it turned, this was in August, and it turned from, I think it was around 12 or 14 degrees to 6 degrees.
Right.
And lashing rain and really heavy wind. And I had said, Katrina says, are you going on? And I said, I'm going to cycle up here. I'm not doing the last lap. And as I headed up, as I was coming to it, I was thinking, it's only another lap. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. And he says, no, I'll not. So I pulled off, went over. But it was freezing as well. And I decided, right, I'm going out for a run to get warmed up. So Carol was there. You know, Carol, Donegal man, he's the TA. Can't remember his second name.
I'm not sure.
But anyway, he was there, and he says, you going out? I says, I'm only going out to run to warm myself. And I said, could you zip up this coat? I said, I can't get my hands on that cold. So he zipped it up. He says, are you sure you're all right? I says, I'm only going out here just as far as I can to get warmed up, and then I'm coming back. But I actually ended up doing the first lap and coming back, and then I was warmed. But there's a fella then walking along with a bike, and he was, again, shivering. So I took the bike off him and helped him across and into the area where everybody was going, and it was like a refugee camp, all these people. And I went in, and they were giving me blankets and soup, and I said, no, I'm grand, because I was warmed up nicely. And I went over and chatted to some of the lads and that. And then I went back out. I said, you know what, I'm going to go out and finish that run. And I walked out the door, and it was just going into a blizzard. And I looked around me. I said, no, back in again. I'm back in again. Not doing that.
There's not much insulation in a tri-seat. Like, well, if the weather turns, there's nothing you can do.
Like, the whole talk after that was, especially the elite athletes who had no fat on them, and they were all almost suffering from hypothermia. You know, and the only thing I took away from that is I must be a fat bastard, because I was as warm, I was grand.
You were cozy. What the hell's wrong is?
Yes, I said, there you are now. But that was it's. I says, right, I have to go back and do that event, and I'm back the following year and did it, and really enjoyed it. Good event.
It's a good event.
It is a good event. Yeah. It is a good event.
And then you've done Pagera.
And I did Pagera 3 times.
Right.
3 times. Twice.
I fancy doing it myself.
I'm going back the year. All the girls are going. Alana signed up for it, so I have
Very
to
good.
Go. Yeah.
Brilliant.
They're all involved now too.
Well, that brings me on perfectly and seamlessly to this part of the podcast. And this is the bit that I love. This is the bit where I spoke to someone recently, and I said that I didn't know what sort of a man I wanted to be whenever I decided that I needed to change the way I was, right? From lying about and being lazy and smoking fags and cans of beer at the weekends and just generally being a slob. I didn't know who I wanted to be like. But the more that I realized, I wanted to be Dessie McAleer. I wanted to be like you and others like you who lead by example. Because one of the things that I had worked out was that if I don't be a positive influence on my children, then they'll just turn out the same way I was. there's nothing wrong with listening to a bit of rock and roll or having a, you know, but it's much, much more powerful to be able to see that in your family, where your kids are all very active, very sporty, and they're all now running about, cycling, running. They're all in the Tri Club, and it's just it's a lovely thing.
They're all canoe leaders now too as well. They're all
Are they all canoe leaders
club.
too? Yeah.
No, Alana's not, but Oren and Conal.
It's just a lovely thing to be able to.
That's the nicest feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It is one of. This is my favourite event, and that was last year, Mullaghmore.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Alana did the swim, Katrina did the cycle, Conal did the run. They did it a relay. And myself and Oren did the whole thing. So the whole family was doing it.
Aye.
And they were chatting about it beforehand, and they reckoned, right, Alana more or less had just started off swimming. So I would be about 2 or 3 minutes quicker than her on the swim.
Yes.
Myself and Katrina, I probably would be near enough the same, I reckon. She reckons that I'd be a wee bit quicker. Right? But when it comes to the run, Conal, he's only 17. And I'm 60. So he's going to annihilate me. So if any chance of beating him, I was going to have to try and go flat out from word go.
Mm-hmm.
So the reckon we should finish around the same. So anyway, Alana started earlier, but I caught Katrina the last 100 yards in the bike. Mm-hmm. So I finished. But I, of course, being new at it, right, I'm only at it at 10 years at this stage. I had my shoes tied and couldn't get my feet in them. So I had to untie them and put my shoes in and then put them on and started running. At this stage, Katrina's in and Conal's out on the run. Well, he's not out on the run. He's gone out and he's waiting on me. So two of us, I grab him and not let him get away on me, and we're running about and the crack's good. So he goes away anyway. And I said, oh, God. And he goes on down and he stops and he waits on me.
Uh-huh.
So me and him then finish it. But as we're coming up near the finish, I says, he's not going to beat me. So coming up near the finish, and I up it a wee bit, and he just ups it as well. And I just catch him and pull him back and and we're only, maybe 20 metres or so from the finish line, and I take off. And the next thing, he just, big log slides up beside me, and there's a bottle of water, and he just pours it over my head as he's running alongside me, looking down. There's a great photograph, and I am giving it everything. You can see that. Uh-huh. And you think he was walking beside me, and he's just pouring the thing of water. And as we come up to the lane, he just nips in the head.
Just nips in. Class.
Bastard. But to have them all there, that's a feeling that you just can't. I would say Conor Nettic would have felt it this year. Remember the photograph that he had up with him 10 years ago? With Cara.
Uh-huh.
Running to the finish line and did the same.
And then the two of them finishing together as competitors.
And now, last year, Katrina, she joined the Tri Club and she's out cycling. And I always enjoyed the cycling, but now that she's in it, I just am enjoying it so much more. And now that they're all involved, Alana did try the lock last year. Mm-hmm. And she struggled now, I'll say that, in the run. She struggled in the run. And I thought that's all over. But no. She's had it this year and strong as a horse and loving it, which is even better. Conal, he's done a couple, but he's more into his football. Mm-hmm. And I don't even think whenever I was growing up there was a ball in the house.
Aye.
None of us were interested in football, Gaelic, soccer, nothing. Mm-hmm. None. If it's anything that's around, had to be a wheel.
You
know what I mean?
Steering-wheeler or rally wheeler.
It was only really last year I think I started to go to more of Conal's matches, and I had no interest, to be honest. Mm-hmm. And just thought it's not fair not going.
Aye.
And really started to enjoy it and enjoy the crack, and So if he goes on, if he wants to keep on going football, at the minute that was the under 18s.
So minors.
Minors.
Yeah.
So now he'd be moving on. I don't know what he has, but it's still going. Enjoying them matches.
Surely, aye.
Yeah, but it's great to have them all there. Love it. Absolutely love it.
It's class. It's class to see it. And it's a lovely thing for everybody else in the club to be able to see as well. It's just it's a real nice refreshing, but it's just so honest, and I don't know what the word is, but it's
well,
just...
to get to receive the award, this year at the thing, that meant a lot.
And the award is for the club.
It's
Spirit of Triathlon or
no,
something?
It was Club Person of the Year.
Club Person of the Year.
But it was given to the whole family. Yeah.
For the first time, it was the McAleer family.
Yeah.
Now, that's class, isn't it?
It was nice. But in fairness, at the start of the year, when somebody says, look, I can't do canoeing, I'd just be looking for an excuse to get out of swimming. And then Alana and Oren and Conal, and they'd say, shall we go up and do it? You swim away. No, I said, I'm grand. No, I'll do it. But they would help out and come up and do it.
But no, they're good kids.
Yeah, they are.
They take after yourself and Katrina. You're great role models to them, and credit where credit's due. Dessie, it's been absolutely amazing chatting to you. Some mighty stories there.
Well, there's a whole lot that I can't tell you.
I would imagine so.
Whenever you take into the likes of some of the stuff that we did back then, back in the 70s and 80s, you wouldn't be allowed to do it. Right?
No, well, it's a good job we didn't talk about kidnapping children or anything like that.
Oh, well, I know you're going to edit here and cut all that out.
Absolutely not.
But we had a reunion, I suppose it must be nearly 10 years ago now, when we had our first one. We've had a few since as well, with all the leaders. At that stage back, whenever I was the sort of the main leader, and they were all at school. Rory Cunningham and them, they were 16 and 17-year-olds. And the things we had a reunion where they come along. They're all married men and women now with children, Nuala Stars and Martin Cassidy and all of them. They were all young fellas, and they're all married men and women now. They brought their children along, and we did the things that we did back then with them. But Paddy used to say to me, if you're not willing to do it yourself, don't expect anybody else to do it.
And it's a good shout.
Yeah. So we would have done some of the stuff, gorging and all that stuff with them, and they absolutely loved it, couldn't believe it. And then the stories would come out of some of the stuff that we did do. I remember us going down again to the foil race, down and started off at Prehan Boat Club outside Derry, and we would have stopped at the Everglades Hotel, if you know where that is.
Yep.
It's half a mile away? Quarter mile away. And we would have untied two boats, put them on the roof rack, got two people into the boats in wetsuits, sitting on the roof rack of the van, holding on to the roof rack. And we would have driven from there up to Prehan Boathouse, turned down into the yacht club, down the ramp they have for launching boats, and then stood on the brakes. And the two boys would just come off the top of the boat, the mini boat,
straight into the water,
down straight into the water, and just paddle on as if nothing had happened.
Nothing to see here at all.
The thing is,
that's the sort of
normal stuff.
That would be sponsored by Red Bull nowadays.
You'll be arrested before you get out of the Everglades car park.
You'd be arrested too. Yeah. There's a good chance you could be arrested when this goes out on there.
Well, that's true. I wonder, what does it say? What's the limitations of...
I don't know.
But the times have changed, and I'm glad that I'm able to... You're moving with the times, and you do risk assessments, right?
Surely.
You can... Where's the line? It's a fine line between safe and crossing the line. There's times we have crossed the line. Whenever we look back at some of the stuff, we didn't cross the line. The line was 3 miles back.
The line wasn't there.
No, the line never existed.
The lines that you were crossing weren't even lines in actual risk assessments.
We would have been in court. Would have been in jail. But they're great stories now. They're great stories.
Stuff.
But it's been a learning experience, and I'm glad that now, at this stage of my life, that I'm able to share it with Katrina and to share it with the Waynes, and that they're coming along and they're enjoying it as well.
No, that's fantastic. It absolutely is. It's amazing.
Yeah. Like Niall Heaney was with us in France too. I spoke to Niall. Yeah, we have great crack with them too. They, again, lifelong friends. Met him through the canoeing. And his family, then, our ones, and they hang out all together.
They're all running around.
And all the young ones now that are all coming in, they're all coming in and joining these young ones, and then they're all going out together. They're all friends. And in years down the line, they'll be me. I'm hoping they'll be me. And telling their Waynes of
excuse me, of the things that they used to do.
The crack that they used to do in the tri club whenever they were young
whenever
adults.
They were young and had no sense.
That's right. Tell me this very quickly before we end. What's 2025 got in store? I was going to say ask you, but I suppose the whole crew, the McAleers, he's going on tour anywhere for 2025 or?
Well, we have 2 weeks holidays booked in France. What we're looking into see now is a triathlon that we can all do when we're over there, or an event that we can all do. Katrina's enjoying the duathlons, right? And we're looking into, we're going to do a few of those. We'd love to do the national series. Myself and Owen talked about it last year, and then he hurt his leg early on in the year, and he was out all year, and he's getting back at it now. But it's been a long process, but he went out and took photographs and cycled along with us and enjoyed the crack. Still enjoys the crack.
And the national series will be a good shout in terms of getting out and about, meeting new people, experiencing new locations, that sort of stuff.
Well, we had said last year I want to do a few different events, so we did Scary's. Fantastic event. Really, really enjoyed it. A technical bike course too. I've taken it easy the first one. You come down into the village. There's a lot of 90-degree bends, and the speed marshals out slowing you down. You slow down because you don't know what's coming up, and then you go around and you think, that's flat out. So the second lap was flat out. You didn't, and they were out practically in the middle of the road trying to slow you down. But, that's I'm happy enough. I can take that flat out.
You do that flat out.
Yeah, and I did
the proverbial line back at the top of the last helmet.
They did Sheephaven as well. Sheephaven was tough. It was very tough.
It's an epic course.
Yeah, I did the training course in Lanzarote, and then says, everybody says, you could do an Ironman, no problem. And I got it into my head that I could. Did Sheephaven. That put it out of my head.
Really?
I thought, Jesus, do the double of that. Not a mission, could I? But even anybody who had done Ironman, Connor and Ed and all had done it, and says, that's worse than any Ironman. It really was.
It's a tough day out.
It was a very tough day out.
Tough day out.
But there's a whole lot of them heading to, where are they heading?
Copenhagen.
I toyed with the idea, but there's a lot happening this year. Two of them, Owen and Alana's graduating, and Conan's is doing his A-levels and going off to college, and Katrina's doing Paris Marathon, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And it says, I'll do the training, and I might try and do the hard man in Kerry.
Very good.
I would like to. Ironman triathlon was never on my calendar at the start. Then when I did a duathlon, and said, I'll try a triathlon, and then the sprints were brilliant. I don't want to do any more. And then I did an Olympic. I'll try a half. And then I did the half, and then never really thought I would do an Ironman. But now Oren says, if you do one, I'll do one. So if not this year, definitely next year. Well, this year's over.
There's a glint in your eye there, Mr. McAleer.
You never know what would happen. You never know. But it's, if I'm going out, I'm going out to enjoy it.
Oh, and no doubt you will.
Oh yeah.
I suppose what I would say is, I've never done either of those events, but I would imagine that the hardman in Ireland would be a tougher animal than the Copenhagen.
It probably would be,
because your cycle's the ringy.
You ring a carry, yeah. We're on about going down and actually doing that. The cycle to do, we're going to go down. Last year was the first time. Lanzarote was my longest ever cycle.
Aye.
We went out on the Friday. Connor and Gemma were doing Lanzarote Ironman. They had it on their head. On the Friday, we were going out to do all the hills, which was 90 mile or 85 mile or something. And from when I heard that on the first day, I says, no, I'll meet you somewhere or else I'll start off. But I end up I did it.
You done it?
And we're sitting at 89 mile and come to a roundabout. And I went round that roundabout about 20 times just to get up to 90 mile.
I rounded up.
90 mile. First longest cycle ever, 90 mile. And then during the year, myself and Katrina did Westport cycle, Sportive, and it was 100 mile. So that was my 2 longest cycles this year.
You have an Ironman in you, surely.
I would like,
as Peter Scaffington said in his podcast, anybody can do an Ironman. not everybody wants to do an Ironman.
Yeah.
So if you want to do one, Dessie, you can do one.
Yeah, I would like to. I really would like to. Now, if you had asked me this 2 years ago, I would have said no.
No,
I had absolutely no a notion of ever doing an Ironman.
This also leads me on perfectly well. You've got a lovely wee saying about aging. Remember,
growing old is compulsory. Growing up is optional.
That's the one. That's the very one there.
That's the way I live life. That's the way I live life. If you can do something, go and do it.
Go and do it.
Go and do it. Enjoy life. That's what it's meant. That's what it's all about. And at the minute, I am enjoying it.
Good stuff.
Really enjoying it. And as I said before, it's great to have them all out. But I told Katrina many times, come on, you out with us Sunday morning. No, you're too fast. Then when Alana started and going out on a Sunday morning, and then she started to come out and come along. And at the start, she was fine. That's far too slow. But you had to work with beginners. But gradually, we got the miles up. She's absolutely loving it. But she's flying.
Aye, she is surely. Absolutely. No, they all are. They all are.
Oh, I'm the weakest link now. I'm the weakest link.
You are the weakest link.
That is it. Goodbye.
All right. Dessie, thanks very much again.
Michael, thank you very much.
All the very best for 2025 to you and the family, and I'll look forward to lining up with you on a few events next year.
I will look forward to it, and I believe you're doing Lanzarote, so enjoy the training till it, and enjoy the event. Enjoy the event, right?
Aye.
That's what it's all about.
Endure the training, enjoy the event.
Yes, if you're not enjoying it, you shouldn't be in it.
No,
you shouldn't be in it.
No,
you're not.
Well, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Michael, thank you very much.